Yeah, so very good. Good morning to all of you. So actually, we have seen in the yesterday's class like how can we like create a notepad front end part, like how can we add the colors, how can we add the images to our buttons, okay, like how can we create the frames, and how can we change the icon of the particular thing in the project. So in today's class, I'll be explaining how can we add the functionalities, how can we the work like make these buttons work in the real time, and how can we make these drop-down boxes work in the real time. Okay, so in today's class, we'll see how can we add functionalities to the buttons and the drop-down boxes. Before that, I'll just refresh the topic again. I'll just revise the topic again so that we'll have a clear idea of the concept. So in yesterday's class, we have seen how can we create window, okay, how can we resize it, how can we add the icons and all. And then I've showed you how can you take different colors and insert into the frames and into the window. Okay, so basically I've taken a variable with the name root underscore color, whose color is white, and where I'm sending it to the root.config. Root.config means what for the whole window, the background color should be white. That's the meaning of it. Coming down, I've taken a menu color with the color yellow and text color with the color black. So menu color is representing the menu frame. I need the color yellow for the menu frame, so I've taken the yellow inside menu underscore color variable. Now, how to create the frames? First of all, what are frames? I've said in yesterday's class, frames are nothing but you're adding some buttons or adding some text inside the frame. A frame is nothing but containing some sort of data. Okay, so instead of placing it or instead of packing it, with the help of the frame, you can arrange your data, you can arrange your attributes in a proper order. As an example, I've arranged all my drop-down boxes and buttons in a proper order. So that is because of what? That is because of frame. Okay, and what is the frame color? If also the frame color is yellow. The frame color is yellow. So this all matters in the real time. Like how can you create the frames? How can you use the frames? Okay. So basically, I've divided into two parts: the first frame and the second frame. So second frame is for the text box. Second frame is for the text box. The yesterday's class has said clearly how can we do it. Again, at this revise in this concept. So I've taken a variable with the name menu underscore frame where I'm denoting a frame attribute. Like how do we denote a button? We write instead of frame, we write here button, right? We write button. In the same way, to denote a frame, I'll be taking the capital F and the remaining spelling. That is frame. Okay, and the frame should go where? Frame should be going inside the root. Nothing but it should go inside your window, in the main window. With what background color? With this background color. With this background color. Now, I have created one more frame with the name text frame. With the name text frame. And that is also going to the root and the color is text color. That is black. And at the end, I have packed both these frames. Menu frame.pack and text frame.pack. Now it's time to create the buttons. It's time to create the buttons. So in yesterday's class I said you normally you can create the buttons with the help of button attribute. That's not a problem. But how can we add the image as a button? How can we say a image as a button there? We have seen in this yesterday's class. Basically, we are taking the help of image TK. I'm taking the help of a package that is image TK. So image TK is a third party package. So you need to install a module for that. You need to install a module for that. So what is the module called? Pillow module. Pillow module. So you open the command prompt and type the command as pip install pillow. So if you install this only, you will be able to use image TK into your program. Image TK represents that you need to insert the image into your TK project. So that can be only done if you are installing pillow first and then including into your program. So this step is very mandatory to do in image TK concept. So after installing, you need to import the pillow module here on the TK project. So how to import from PIL, where PIL should be capital. PIL is a shortcut for pillow. It's a representation name for pillow there. So from PIL import image TK and image. You're importing two modules, image TK and image. Then how to use it? If you drag it down, see. I'll be taking image TK dot photo image. Image TK is having another method that is photo image. It will be able to you to which will give the access to you to insert the image into the button. So image TK dot photo image. Inside that, I write image dot open. Like how do you open a file? In the same way, right? File dot open. Okay, some mode and all. Same way to open the image, I write image dot open and my image name. Make sure all the images are copy pasted into your project. All the images are copy pasted in your project from starting, or else this command will not work. So after declaring my image, I'm just sending that variable which is containing all this image TK into my button, into my button. Okay, using image attribute, and make sure the button should go where into your menu frame instead of root. You're adding what menu frame. That is for sure. You should do it that way only. Okay, and at the end, instead of writing any place command or back command, I'm writing grid command. So grid totally depends on rows and columns. So currently, I'm sending that button on the 0 row and 0 column. 0 row and 0 column. And pad X and pad Y are nothing but increasing the spacing on the x-axis and y-axis. Pad X means increasing spacing on the x-axis, the background spacing on x-axis. And pad Y says that increasing spacing on the y-axis. The same for us for the remaining buttons also. I have just inserted the image for depending on the button there, and I have just packed them on depending on columns. So you can see the rows are same, only columns will be changing. Here I will be taking column 1, here column 2 for the third button, and column 3 for the fourth button. Okay, but row will be same because I need all the buttons in the same row. I need all the buttons in the same row, they're in the same line. Only it should be one after the other. So that's why I'm changing the columns, but rows are fixed. Now, after that, we are creating drop-down boxes. So drop-down boxes should be kept inside a list. Should be coming from a list because that is quite easy when you keep your data inside the list. It will be easy to retrieve. And the data which I am keeping inside the list is in which type? It is in string type. So I have a method in takeinter to read the data in the string type. That is called as string var. That is called as string var method. So you should import it on the top. So from takeinter, import string var, import string var, and as well as import int var also. Because if you are having a data of integer type, you can read the data using int var. So I've taken string var and stored it into a variable font family. Stored it into a variable font family. To create the drop-down box, again take a separate variable. And with the help of the option menu attribute, with the help of the option menu attribute, where O is capital and M is capital, you're creating a drop-down box. It should go where? It should go to the menu frame. It should go to the menu frame. Okay, and you're scanning in which form? String var form. String var is coming from which variable? Font family. So keep that font family here. And what is the list name? List name is families. But make sure before the list you're placing the asterisk symbol. Before calling the list here, you're placing the asterisk symbol. Means what? All the elements, all these elements present inside the list will be coming in a vertical format. If you don't keep it the asterisk symbol, it's coming in the horizontal format. That is not the right thing to be done. So make sure you're keeping an asterisk symbol which represents to be coming in a vertical format, and then give your list. After that, place it like use the grid method to close it on specific row and column, and pad X and pad Y same like you given the previous concept. Pad X and pad Y same here also. Now, I need a name for this drop-down box. For example, I've given the new terminal name. So how this new terminal is coming? Because of this method, where I've taken my string variable, that is font underscore family dot set. My string value is storing which variable? Font family, right? I'm calling it here. Font family dot set. Set means for giving a name to the drop-down box. So dot set, what is the name? Terminal. Okay, now I need to change the width of the drop-down box. I need to make the width of the drop-down box a fixed width with it. So how can I do it with the help of this configuration? Font family underscore drop. Your drop-down box name dot config. What you want to change? You want to change width. So width equal to 50. So that drop-down box will be a fixed size, that is 50. So same follows with the remaining drop-down box. Only the change is if you are going for the numbers, I am taking this list for the size, for the font size. So I am reading in the integer variable format, in the int var format. Okay, remaining all the things are same. And for the style, drop-down box also everything is same. That's it. Okay, now coming to the text box. How to create the text box? I am going to take a variable text underscore box. And the advantage of using takeinter is we'll be getting a text box which is automatically having which is inbuilt having a scroll bar. This is a text box. This is your text box. And with that you are getting an inbuilt function of scroll bar. You are getting an inbuilt function of scroll bar. So how this is possible? It is possible with the help of a package. It is possible because of a package, and the package is called as scrolled text. Scrolled text. So that package should be imported first. So from takeinter import scrolled text. and you're using that scroll text into your text box. So scroll to text dot scroll to text. So this is your package name and this is the main thing that should be kept. So dot scroll to text. Here S will be capital, T will be capital. Where you want to insert, I want to insert the second frame. And the second frame name is text frame. I've created two frames. One is menu frame, one is text frame. So I'm keeping in the text frame where the size of the text box, where the size of the text box really matters. Okay, so width should be 1000, height should be 1000. Means the text box should be covering my entire page. So for that purpose, I've keep the width 1000 and the height is 1000. If you want to keep the width 100 also, you can make it 100, not a problem. Okay, now at the end, I'm packing my text box. I'm packing my text box. So by this, we have seen in yesterday's class how can we create a simple notepad. Okay, so I'm done with the front end part. Today we'll go with the connectivity part. So now let's start with the connectivity part. Now, for example, I'm giving a text into my notepad. That is hello world. Hello world. Now, I'm saying that whatever the starting font family is there, and whatever the starting size is there, and whatever the starting style is there, depending on these three parameters, my text should be displayed. My text should be changed. Okay, for example, the font family is terminal. So terminal will have a separate texture to the text. So that texture should be added. Font size is 12. So font size of this hello world should be 12 automatically. And the font style is none. So you should change it to none automatically. How can we do it? See. I hope all of you got the task there. How to do it? See. In this text box, I make some configurations. So before my text box, I take a variable with the name my underscore font. I take a variable with the name my underscore font. What I do is I'll be calling my font family and font size variables into the my font. So what is font family representing? It is representing all the families. It is representing all the families. And what is font size representing? It is representing all the sizes of the font. All the sizes of the font. Okay, so I'm calling this font family and font size into my variable that is my font. So I'll be taking one more tuple inside. I'm doing a nested tuple concept. Here I'll be taking font family dot get. So whatever the first family is there, what is the first family, sir? Inside the list, the first family is terminal. So that terminal texture will be added to your font. Okay, that is coming because of this font family. That is coming because of this font family. Okay, so font family dot get means font at the first font to your data. And in the second string, I'll be writing font size dot get. Means now retrieving the first size. What is the first size present in the text? It is 12. So that size will be added to the text. Okay, the size will be added to the text. So now I'm calling my font family and font size and storing into a variable my font. So whatever the first font family is there, whatever the first font size is there, based on that, you will be seeing a change in your text. Okay, now after declaring your variable, what we'll do is coming down to your text box at the end, after declaring the height at the end, and write there font equals to my font. Font equals to my font. Means based on this, whatever things are being applied will be added to this text box. So if you now run it again, if you run the text box again, see. If you run your notepad program, see what happens. So based on that family and based on the font size, the text will be changed. If I show you this, for example, if I remove this now, let's have a look here. This is currently which type? It is of terminal type. The font is of terminal type. And what is the size? 12. That is coming because of which method? Because of this method. I'm storing everything into a variable and shifting it into the text box. Okay, and what if I remove it? See, if I remove this font equal to my font, check what happens. I run the program again. So now you won't be able to see the terminal and size. You can't see that increase in size and the change in the font. See, it will display a simple text. It will display a simple text. Okay, so at least for a satisfaction purpose, if you want to change that font on the basis of the first font family and on the basis of the first font size, you should go for this method. Go for this method and call it into the text box using what? Using font attribute. Font equals to my font. So I hope all of you are clear with this. Okay, so run it again and check it. Now, I'll write the same text. Hello world. You can see a change in the texture and a change in the font size. That is because of terminal and the size 12. So now your font is of what type? Terminal type, and the size is what? 12. Okay, so this is the first change that you're making into the text box. Now, let's start with remaining options. Now, for example, if I select Calibri, is it changing to Calibri? No. If I select Times New Roman, is it changing the font to Times New Roman? No. Okay, if I select the size 32, is it making any change in the size? No. Means only it is only fixed to what? It is only fixed to the starting element. It is only fixed to the starting elements of the drop-down boxes. But that's not the right thing, right? If the user is selecting Calibri, the font should be changing to Calibri type. If the user is selecting size as 36, it should be changing to 36. If the user is selecting bold, it should change the text into bold. So how can we do this? What I do is, to make it simple, I'll be creating a function. I'll be creating a function where I'll be adding all the functionality to change the font size, font style, and the font family. So right here, define functions. The title is define functions. So in this, the first function will be change font. The function name is change font. I'll be calling out the parameter here with the name event. I'll be calling out the parameter with the name event. Now, the first thing you should do is, I'll close it and run it again and show you. You have an error. 1 second. Let's run it now. Okay. So now it is very important to understand these three things. It is very important to understand these three things. What are the three things, sir? These three drop-down boxes. Okay, I'll make it simple. See. What is the current font family I'm using? It is terminal. What is the current font family? It is terminal. Next, what is the current size of the font? It is 12. Right? So current font family is terminal and the current size is 12. And what is the current style, sir? It is none. It is none. So now into my program, into this function, I need to check whether the font is none type or it is bold type, italic type or underline type. I need to check whether it is none type or it is bold type or italic type. Because if it is none type, I'll be only changing what? I'll be only changing the font family and the font size. Let's say the user is selecting Calibri as the font family. So it will only change the font into Calibri format and the size into 22 format. It won't affect that none type. Okay, this will only happen if the font style is none. But say it is bold type. So what will happen? It should make the font bold. It should make the font bold. So depending on the scenario, if it is none type, it should only change what? Font family and font size. If it is not none type, it should also change the particular requirement of this type. Okay, so I hope you got the idea there. So what I'll do is I'll take a if and else block. I'll be taking a if and else block to check whether it is of none type or not. If it is none type, it should only affect font family and font size. If it is not a none type, it should also affect the style. So let's get into work now. Yeah. So come back to the function change font, and here what I'll do is I'll be taking a variable first of all. Totally, this program depends on a lot of variables. Okay, so make sure you're using variables in the right way. So now what I do is I take a if condition. First of all, I take a if condition. If font underscore style. So I'll make sure what is font underscore style. See. What is font underscore style? Font underscore style is nothing but it is a variable which is holding string var. It is holding string var that is able to scan all these elements from the list. So all these elements will be scanned by using which variable? Font style. So with the font style, I'll be calling on the top. I'll be calling on the top dot get. Means for whatever is the current style, whatever is the current style of the font, call it on the top. So what is the current style? It is right now none type. It is right now none type. Okay, so now if font style dot get double equals to none. If the font style you are calling it here, if you are calling the font style here, and if it is none type, what should happen? It should only affect what the font family and the font size. So to do that, I'll be taking a variable with the name my font again. My font equals to in the tuple. I'll be calling one more tuple, and I'll be writing here font family dot get, comma font size dot get. Sorry, this should be again a tuple. So font size dot get means for if the style. So for example, I'll show you the diagram. Run the program. See. So currently, sir, the style is none type or non style means the large drop down box. The style is representing the large drop down box. So now, if you're calling it here, it is none type or not. It is none type. Okay, so you can see there it is none type. So if condition is satisfied, so what should happen? It should only change the font family and font size. So let's say the user is selecting Calibri, it should only affect Calibri and only affect with the size. You should make the text into Calibri format and you should increase the decrease size on the basis of the user selection. And whatever configuration I've given here, whatever font family I've selected, whatever font size I've selected, should go and store into which variable? Into the my font variable. So this is the whole configuration to change the font family and font size if the font style is of none type. But let's say the font family, sorry, the font style is of bold type. It is of bold type. I've changed it to bold now. So what will happen? This will be called here again. It will be called here. So right now, font style dot get is of what type? Bold type. I'll repeat again. I've made it to bold type. So now currently this condition is not satisfied because this is bold type and this is none type. So both are not satisfying. So what will happen? You should take a else block. You should take a else block. Why you should take a else block? Have a look here. So we will be taking a else block. You will be taking a else block. And we'll be writing here, if it is not none type, means if it is bold, italic and all, what should happen? It should also change the particular style. It should also change the particular style. That is, it should affect font family. It should affect font family as well as it should affect font size. As well as it should affect the font style as well. Means for if it is none type, it should also change the font into bold type, underline type, or italic type. You should change the font into bold type, italic type, or underline type. So that's the meaning of this. If it is none type, only change font family and font size. If it is not none type, for example, it is bold type. So if condition is not satisfied, so what will happen? It will change the font into bold type as well because of this method. It will come to the else block and also change the style. Okay, so this is the configuration to change your particular text on the basis of this 3 drop-down boxes. I hope all of you are clear with this. Okay, now for the ultimate change, till now this is all the declaration part. This is only the declaration part. Okay, all the changes are stored where? All the changes are stored in this my font variable. This my font variable should be assigned where? Should be assigned to the text box because at the end everything is displayed in the text box, right? Everything is displayed into the text box. For this purpose, you should assign that my font to the text box. You should assign the my font to the text box. So right here, changing text of text box. Okay, so how will you do it? I write here. What is the text box name? If you scroll down, you can see the text box name is text underscore box. What is the text box name? Text underscore box. Just call it on the top. Call it on the top. So text underscore box dot config.
You're changing what? You're changing font. So font equal to my font. Font equal to my font. Config means what? Modifying or changing. You're changing what? You're changing the particular font into the text box. Depending on which variable, my font variable. So whatever family you have selected and whatever size you have selected and whatever style you have selected, on the basis of this, the font will be displayed in the text box. Okay, now. So currently the declaration part is done, the function part is done. So if I give any text and all, for example, I am changing this into the calibrate type. Is it affecting the change? No. If I change it to Times New Roman type or Georgia type, it's changing there? No, it is still terminal type only. So how can we do it? So already the function is defined, but still there is no change. Why? Because the function should be called into each and every drop-down box. For example, you are creating a login form. That login form function will be called into each and every button, right? It will be called into each and every button with the help of the command attribute, right? In the same way, this function, that is the name change font, should be called into each and every drop-down box. Should be called into each and every drop-down box. So how to declare the drop-down box? Wherever the option menu attribute is there, that option menu represents drop-down box. I'll just confirm it here. I'll write it here. Option menu equals to drop down box. Drop down box. Okay, in real time we call it as option menu only. In Tickender we call it as option. Okay, now. So what you should do is, what is the function name change font? So inside this option menu, after calling your list name, that is families, what I do is I place a comma and I write the command equals to change font. Change font, I remove the parenthesis. Okay, same follows for the remaining two drop-down boxes also. Now come to the size drop, that is your second drop-down box, and also pass the command equals to change font. Remove the parenthesis. At the end you will find two parentheses, remove it. Okay, now. And for the last drop-down box also do the same thing. Comma, command equals to change font. Remove the parenthesis. So by this your program is ready. Check it again, run it and check it. So now let's say I'm just happily writing some text. Hello world. We are creating a Notepad project. Okay, now the thing is I need to change it into some specific type. So currently it is of terminal type. I'll select Calibri and check it whether it is changing or not. You can see there it is changing it to Calibri type. I'll select Arial and check it. You can see it is affecting there. It is changing it to Arial type. For example, I'll take Times New Roman. So you can see there it's changing to Times New Roman. Okay, so now if I select Cambria, see changing to Cambria. Okay, so this was for the font family. And if you take the font size, for example, it is 12 right now. I'm making it to 22. So you can see an increasing size. I'm making it to 17. So you can see decreasing size. I'm making it to 36. Okay, now currently it is none type. For example, I'm selecting bold. So you can see the text is becoming bold. I'm making it italic. It's becoming italic. I'm changing it to underline. It's becoming in the underline. It's coming in the underline format. So in this way, using this function, we can change everything. You can change the look and feel of your text box. Okay, I hope everyone are clear with this. Okay, so the next step is providing functionality to these buttons. Means, for example, if I click on this button, it should close the window. So how can I do it? First, I start with this button. Okay. So for that, I should take a separate function with the name close window. The function name is close window. It is very easy. Already I have seen this concept in previous classes. We'll have a method to close the window that is called as root.destroy method. Okay, so if I click on that button, the root will be destroyed. Nothing but the window will be destroyed. So what I'll do is I'll call this close window function into my button, and the button name is close button, close underscore button. So here at the end, I'll pass command equals to close button, close window, and remove the parenthesis. The function name is close window, which is holding what is holding the function root dot destroy. Means what? If you click on the button, the root will be destroyed, the window will be destroyed. Nothing but it will be closed. Check it, run it and check it. Yeah. So now, which is the button representing the close window button? This one. This is the button which is enabling you to close the button, close the window. Sorry. So if you click on that, see if I click on that, automatically window will be closed. If you observed it, see I run it again. Normally I can close it with the help of this cross mark also, but I want to close it from here. So I click this, and you can see the window will close. I click it again. I click on the button, and the window will close. But I'm saying that I don't need this concept. It is closing the window directly. It is closing the window directly. But the thing is, if I select this button, if I click on this button, I should get a message box. I should get a message box. Now, all of you know what is message box in Tkinter. I should get a message box, like a pop-up window displaying what? Are you sure you want to close the notepad? If I have to get into options, yes, no. Okay, so if I select yes, it should close the window. If I select no, it should keep the window same as it is. Okay, should not close the window. So how can I get this message box with yes and no option? Observe very carefully. Till now you use message box to display only the data like logging successfully or logged out, like that. This kinds of data you have used the message box concept. But using message box you can increase the functionality of the program to next level. Okay, see. So first of all, what you should do is you should import message box on the top. So from Tkinter, sorry. Import Tkinter dot message box as msg. So I'm importing message box as msg. So msg is the reference of message box. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll come back to this close window function, and instead of writing root dot display directly, I'll call here the message box. So msg dot. Okay, so instead of this, okay, 1 second. Sorry. I do one thing, I take a variable question. And inside this variable I'll call the message box, that is msg dot. Then now you start writing this way, show info. Show info means the info will be coming, the data will be coming. Now you should not select this show info, you should select what? Ask yes no. You have another method, and the method is ask yes no. These two options will be given to you, either yes or no. Okay, so msg dot ask yes no. What is the title of the window? The title will be close node. The title will be close node, and the data inside the node, inside the window will be what? Are you sure you want to close the node? You want to close the node? Question mark. Are you sure you want to close the node? I repeat again. In the message box, we have an attribute with the name ask yes no. We should give you two options. If you click the button, that is yes and no. With the heading as close node and with the data as are you sure you want to close the node or not? Now, to validate it, how to validate? I write here if question double equals to 1. If question, okay. First I'll run it and show you how does it work. So run the program now. So if you click on the close button, you will see a pop-up. And this is your message box. It's saying what? It is saying that the title is close node. You have taken the title here close node, right? So the title is close node. Okay, next. It is saying inside that, are you sure you want to close the node or not? What is the text you are getting there? Are you sure you want to close the node or not? Now, if I click on yes, you can see you are getting two buttons, yes and no. If I select yes, it should close the node. If I select no, it should not close the node. So how can I validate whether the person will select yes or not? See, observe very carefully. If I select yes now, it is not making any change. See, if I select yes also, it is closing the window, but the notepad is like that only. But my rule is what? If I select yes, even the window should be closed, even the notepad should be closed. So how can I do that? See, come back to the program and write here if question double equals to 1. Okay, yes is represented by the number 1 there. The yes button is represented by the number 1. So if the user is selecting the number 1, the user is selecting the button 1, that is yes button. What should happen? You should close the window. So root dot destroy. Root dot destroy. Repeat again. You are getting the option yes, right? You are getting the option yes here. So if you select yes, means what? You are selecting the number 1. Yes is represented by the number 1 in the program. So if the question's answer is 1, means if the person is selecting yes, what should happen? You should close the whole project. You should close the whole notepad project. Okay, so let's try it and run it again and show you. So now if I click on that close button and if I select yes, automatically even the notepad will be closed. Even the notepad will be closed. And if I run it again and I click on the close button and I'm selecting no, that means what? It will be staying on the screen. It will not close it. But if I select yes, it will close it. So this is the whole configuration to ask the user you want to close the note or not close the note. Now coming to the second button, that is if you want to select the new file, how can you do it? So we have the first button to do that. We have the first button that will help us to take a new file. Means already I'm writing some data here, but suddenly I'm in a requirement of new file. So I click on this button and click on this button to take a new file. So how can we do it? Observe carefully. I'll be taking a function. With the name new file. And inside this again, I'll be asking a question. That is, are you sure you want a new note or not? Are you sure you want a new file or not? Because if you click on that, it won't give you the new file directly. You should compulsory ask yes or no then. Okay, who knows whether the requirement is not there, the person has clicked on the button by mistake. Okay, so asking yes or no is very compulsory. That's the same process. msg.ask yes no. msg.ask yes no. Title should be what? New note. And the text inside the pop-up should be what? Are you sure you want a new note? Same procedure. If the user is selecting 1, that is, if the user is selecting the option yes. So what should happen here? Observe carefully. Text box. They are calling the text box here. Dot delete. Text box dot delete means what? The existing data into the text box should be deleted. The existing data from the text box should be deleted. If the existing data is deleted, automatically the new note will be given. Now, for example, see. I run the program. Okay, now let's say I'm writing a message. Hello world. Now already some data is present here. If I click on the new file button, what should happen? It should erase this previous data. If it erases the previous data, automatically I get a new note. So that's the meaning of it. Erase the previous data so that the user will get automatically a new note there, an empty note. Okay, I hope all of you are clear with this. So for example, I erase it. So you can see that automatically I'm getting a new file, a new note, an empty file. Okay, so to do that, I'll be writing this configuration. That is, if user selects the question 1, if user selects the option 1, what should happen? The data present inside the text box should be deleted. From where to where? From the starting point. So starting point is always represented by the string 1.0. 1.0 means from the starting letter of the starting word till the end of the word. From the end of the word. So comma end means what? Comma end is nothing but it can be a ending line or the ending word. If you are giving in a sentence, so end represents the ending sentence. If you are giving in multiple lines, end represents the last line. So from the starting line to the ending line, everything should be deleted. Or from the starting word to the ending word, everything should be deleted. That's the meaning of it. Okay, so actually end is a package. Okay, end is a package and you should import in the top. You should import that in the top. So after scroll the text, right there end. I repeat again. If the user is reading the option one, what should happen? From the starting point, that can be a word or a line. Okay, from the starting point to the ending point. Again, the ending point can be either a word or a line. Till that, all the data should be deleted. All the text should be deleted. Okay, so by this, your function is ready. Just pass the function name into the button. What is the button name? New file. New file. At the end, pass the command attribute and write there new file. Okay, there's a problem here. Actually, I've taken the button name and the function name same. And in real time, we cannot do that. So do one thing, I write the function name as new node. I write the function name as new node. So write the new underscore node. New underscore node and remove the parentheses. Make sure the button name and the function name are not same. If it is same, it will not work. Okay, now run it and check it. Right. So now let's say I'm just writing some text. Hi everyone. We are learning how to create a notepad using Django. So I'm having some multiple lines of text. So now this 1.0. This 1.0 represents what? 1.0 represents the first line. Represents the first line. And n represents what? N represents the last line. Means what? You're deleting the data from the first line from last line. You're deleting all the data. Deleting all the data from first line to last line. When will it delete? When you select this button. When you select this button. If you select that button, automatically the data from the first line to the last line will be deleted. Okay, check it. Select that button now. So confirmation message is coming. If I select yes, the data is being deleted and you get a new node, an empty node, which is automatically called as new node. Empty node is always a new node, yes, sir. Okay, so that's the configuration to take a new node. Okay, now we are left with only two buttons, open and save. First we'll go with the save button and we'll go with the open button. Save is very easy. Okay, you need to use the files concept and you'll be ready with that button. Okay, now I'll be taking a function name save file. The function name is save file. Inside this, what I do is observe very carefully because this is quite complex method. I'll be taking a variable. I'll be taking a variable which will store all the names of the file element. Okay, you should save the file with some name, right? So that will be coming inside this variable, save underscore name equals to now. The thing here is, if I show the previous notepad, if I show the previous program of the notepad, this is the previous program. Okay, see. So if I select the save button, for example, I'm adding some text, hello. And if I select the save button, you will see that a separate window will be open. A separate window will be open. See, a separate window is opening. A separate window is opening, which is saying you to save the file. Which is saying you to save the file into some location, with some file name, So how can you get this window, sir? How can you get this window into your program where it will ask you the location, where it will ask you the file name, okay, the file type, and how can you do it? In Tkinter, you have a package with the name file dialog, So file dialog will help you to open this sort of windows. Where you can save the file, you can open the file, you can delete the file using the file dialog. Okay, file dialog is nothing but a separate window where you can pass functionalities like saving, deleting, opening and all. Okay, so how this happens? Let's see in our program. I hope all of you are clear with this concept. Okay, so let's start with the program. So this window is called as what? File dialog window. What is called? File dialog window. Okay, so come back to our program. So save name equals to file dialog. So actually file dialog is again a third party package. Again it is a third party package. So you should import from the top. So go back to the top. So from Tkinter import, after the end you will write there file dialog. Okay, now come down and I'll be using it here. So file dialog dot. You have many things here. Okay, so if you type ask, again many things are coming. Now what is the requirement? Open file name means no, I don't want open file name. Save as file name, yes. Save as file name is required. Because I need to save the file with some name there. So I'll be selecting this option. File dialog dots ask save as file name. Ask save as file name is what? User will be eligible to give the file name. User will be eligible to give the file name. You can give any name to the file. Now, till here, I guess all of you have understood. All of you have understood. Now, it's very important to know, sir, where will the window open? What will be the location of the window? Where will the window open if you click the button save there? Okay, so that will be coming from this attribute that is initial dir. Initial dir. Initial dir means if you click on the button, where should that window open? What should be the location of that window? So that is the meaning of that initial dir. Spelling mistake. Once. Initial directory means base directory. dir means directory. Okay, dir means directory. Directory means folder. So where should I open the folder? Okay, what should be your base folder? It is asking. So how can I represent my base folder using dot and front slash? Using dot and front slash. In the strings you keep what? Dot and front slash. Now what is the meaning of dot and front slash? Listen very carefully. Currently I'm doing all this in the PyCharm. And my program name is what? Notepad demo.py. Notepad underscore demo.py. It is coming from which project? Notepad 3pm. It is coming from which project? Notepad 3pm. Where that Notepad 3pm is stored? At the right side, you can see the location where it is stored. At the right side, you can see the location. The location is C drives, users, Gupta folder, PyCharm projects, Notepad 3pm. So that much long location is there. Means in the C drive, you have a folder with the name users. In that again, you have a folder with the name Gupta. In that again, you have a folder with the name PyCharm projects. In that PyCharm projects, you have the project Notepad 3pm stored. So whenever you write dot slash here, whenever you pass initial directory as dot slash, whenever you click on the save button, it will open the window on this specific location. On this specific location. The base location will be that location only where your program is stored. So where your program is stored in that location. So if you click on the button, it will open in that location only. Okay, so that is the meaning of dot and slash. Dot and slash. Now, what will be the title? What will be the title of that window? What will be the title of that window? So the title will be using the attribute available. The title will be save no. The title will be save no. Next. After this, what are the type of files I save? What are the type of files I will save with the help of Notepad? So see here, I will denote the types of file with the attribute file types. File types. So what are the types of files I can save? I'll show you. So in real time, there are two types of files. There are two types of files. First one are text files. First one is text files, and the second one is all files. All files. So text file is nothing but which contains text. Which contains text. Like Notepad file or a simple text file, that's all the files are called as text files. Now, for example, what are all files? Python files, Java files, images, HTML files, okay, C++ files. This sort of files are called as all files. Okay, PDF files. This sort of files are called as all files. Text file means only for text purpose. All file means whatever languages are there. Each and every language will have its own extension there. So depending on that, you will represent all files. So all file means this many files, and text file means only text files. So I'm saying that my notepad, the notepad that I created with the help of Takeeter, should be eligible to store the text files as well as all files. It should be eligible to store text files as well as all files. Okay, so how to do it? See. So in the file types, I write there in a tuple format. I take one more tuple inside that. So first files are what? Text files. First files are text files. So we're writing in the strings text files or text file. Now, comma inside the string again in the same tuple inside the string. Now, what is the extension of the text file? It is always .txt. It is always .txt. But directly you won't write .txt now, sir. You compulsory pass a file name. For example, the file name is abcd. So you print what abcd.txt. What will be the file name? abcd.txt. For example, you're passing demo as a file name. So what will be the name there? Demo.txt. Now I don't know the name what I passed. .txt is a by default extension. I know it, so I kept there. But file name we can pass anything. So I represent the file name with star. I represent the file name with star. Means that whatever file name you're storing, that will equal to the star, and at the end .txt will be given. If you're storing a text file, and if you're storing all files, so this tuple is ending here, right? The tuple is ending here. No, actually, no, it's ending here only. This is ending here. This is the nested tuple, and the outside bracket is the bracket for this one, for a last same as file. So after this bracket, place a comma and open one parenthesis, and this is denoting what? This is denoting all files. This is denoting all files. Now, what are all files? All files we can take into consideration as Python files, Java files. So all files, comma, what is the file name? I don't know. So again, I represent with the star. And what is the extension? Different languages can have different extensions. Like if it is Python, what is the extension of Python? It is .py. It is .py. If you take Java file, what is the extension? .java. If you are in HTML, what is the extension? .html. So for different languages, the extension is different. So I don't know the extension also. What will I be using? So I will be writing the .star. So file name is something and the extension is something. That comes under all files. So in this way, you configure your text files and all. Now, how to save the data into the file using the files concept of Python. So with open, what do you want to open? You want to open the file name. What is the file name? The file name is stored, command storing in this variable, save underscore name. Whatever file name I have given, the command stored in this save underscore name variable. So call it the save underscore name variable here. Now, you have certain modes in files: write mode, append mode, and read mode. Write mode, append mode, and read mode. Now, which mode is used here? Which mode is comfortable to be used here? We should go with the write mode because I'm creating a new file. So all these new files are created with the help of write mode, and write mode is denoted by W. Write mode is denoted by W. And whatever name you are passing should be represented by the alias name, that is F. So now F will represent what? F will represent all this thing. F will represent all this thing. Like I'm writing here, right? Import message box MSG. So now MSG will represent message box. MSG is the alias name or the reference name will represent message box. In the same way, F is a short name or the alias name will represent the file. Now, I write there F dot write. F dot write. What I should write? I should write the data present inside the text box. I should write the data present inside the text box into the file. So I write there text box. Dot get. First I get all the data from the text box. From where to where? From starting point till the ending point. From starting point to the ending point, whatever data is there, take it from the text box and insert it into the file. Insert it into the file. So this is a configuration to save the file using the Notepad. Okay, so by this your program is ready for the file. Just copy this function name and call it into the button. So what is the button name? Save underscore button. At the end, pass the command equals to command equals to what is the function name? Save underscore file and remove the parentheses. So by this your saved program is also ready. Run the program now. So now let's say I'm writing some text. Let's say I want to save this file. I want to save this file with a name. So I'm saying that when I save this file, this text should be inserted to the file. The text should be also saved to the file. So how can I do it? I click on this save button. Okay. Now you see there the initial directory is being opened. What is the initial directory? It is PyCharm projects. See PyCharm projects Notepad 3 PM. So that same directory will open here also. PyCharm projects Notepad 3 PM. PyCharm projects Notepad 3 PM. If you want to change the location, you can change it, or you can store it here only. You can save it here only. I'm saying store the file or save the file on the desktop. So I'll select desktop. I'll select desktop. Okay, so here I'll give the file name as, for example, the file name is considered notepad underscore test dot txt. Notepad underscore text dot txt. So what is the file name? Notepad underscore text. So that notepad underscore text will replace with the star symbol and the extension is dot txt. So if you click on save, where it will go and save in the desktop. It will go and save in the desktop. Go and check it. So you can see there, we gave the name notepad underscore text, right? See, with that name, it has created a text file on the desktop. Okay, open the text file. So whatever it has given here, whatever it has given inside the text box, that same data is reflecting on the text file also, the notepad text file also. See, same data is coming here also. So this is the concept of saving the files. This is the concept of saving the files. Okay, you can save with any extension. For example, I click on save again. So I click on save again. I go to the desktop and now I want to save it another thing. For example, I give C language dot C. So how do we save a C language file with the help of .c, right? So I write the C language dot C. So this comes under which file? This comes under all files. This comes under all files. Save it. So on the desktop, you can see there a C language file will be created. A C language file will be created. The name of file is what? C language, and the extension we gave is .c. So with that name, a C language file will be created. So this is a method of saving a text file as well as any type of file that is represented by all files. So I hope everyone are clear with this, right? Okay. So now come back to the program. We are left with the last button, that is open button. That is open button. Now what is the role of open button in this project? For example, I have a text file on my desktop which is containing some data, which is containing this data. I am saying that the same data should be coming into my project, should be coming into my notepad, into my take in the notepad. The same data should be coming into my take in the notepad. So that can be done using what? That can be done using open button. Using open button. So how to do it? Let's see a program based on this. Okay, see. Go back to the PyCharm. We'll be creating one more function. I'll be creating one more function to represent open button. So function name is open file. Function name is open file. Okay, and here all the things are same, like we did for the save file, right? Here also all the things are same. I take here the variable name as open underscore name. Means with whatever name I'm opening, that should come as stored in this variable. I write there file dialog dot ask. Till now we saw how to save the file. Now we are seeing how to open the file. So right there, ask open file name. Means I'm asking the file name from the user. Which file you need to open? So I'm asking from the user. And remaining everything is same. That is initial dir equals to dot slash. Means open in the initial directory. That is PyCharm projects notepad 3pm folder. And the title should be what? The title should be open note. Open note. And what are the file types? File types are same. It can be text file, or it can open any file. It can open any file. So first I write text file. The extension is what? Extension is .txt. I don't know the file name, so I place star. Next, in the next step, I write for all files. All files. And what is the extension? It is star. I don't know the name as well. So I write there star dot star. It should be it should be means I don't know the file name and I don't know the extension. So I'm replacing the file name with star and the extension also with star. Now, whatever name you local with, whatever name you local. For example, my text name is the file name is bootstrap lines. The file name is bootstrap lines. So what is the file name now? Bootstrap lines. Bootstrap lines. So now I'll be taking again the file method. I'll be taking the file 30 Python with open. What is file name? Open underscore name. Open underscore name. comma, which is the mode I'll be using here. And now I need to read the data from the existing file. My Notepad project. So I'll be using what? R method here. I'll be using R method as F, nothing but read method. W for write, R for read. Okay, so read is used to read the data from the existing file. Now, so how to read it? See, I show that one. I write here text equals to F dot read. I'll be taking a variable text and then I'm calling there F dot read. Means whatever data is present. For example, this is the text file. This is the text file with the name bootstrap lines and some data is present here. So what will happen is this file, this particular file, okay, will read the data. Sorry. Yeah. This particular method will read all the data from the and store it into this text variable and store it into the text variable. Okay. Now, with that variable where all the data is stored, so what is the variable text? So with that variable, what I do is I insert the data into the text box. So text box dot insert. Okay, insert from where to where? Insert from the starting point. Insert from the starting point till the ending point. Insert the data from the starting point and ending point. I think not ending point. No. Insert from the starting point. And what do you want to insert? You want to insert text. You want to insert text. Okay, means first you are storing all the data. You are reading all the data from the file and storing it to the text variable. And you are inserting the text variable into the text box. So what is the method to do it? Text box dot insert. From the starting point, we should insert what? Insert the text. So right there, comma, text. So the text will be inserted into the text box from the existing file. So by this, your program is ready to open the file also. So go to the button name is open underscore button. And just pass the command there. So comma, command equals to open file. So run the program again. So now let's say I want to open this file. I want to open this bootstrap lines file into my Notepad project. How can I do it? I click on this open button. I click on that open button. I'll show you again. Click on this open button. Where is located? This bootstrap lines is located on my desktop. So go to the desktop. There you can see the file name is what? Bootstrap lines. I'll select it and I'll click on open. So if you see there, all the lines are coming. All the lines are coming. Okay, so the first step is clear. See, you can match it. Both are same. Meta charger is there here also, meta charger is there here also. Okay, now for example, I take a new file and here already some data is present. I write hello world, already some data is present. And then I'm trying to open the file. I'm trying to open an existing file. So I'll go to the desktop, I'll open bootstrap lines, open. So you can see there, the previous data is being erased. The hello world is being erased. No, if you observe here, hello world is coming in the last line. Hello world is coming in the last line. Very sorry, I didn't observe that. Hello world is coming in the last line. See. But that is not the right concept, right? This is the previous data. This is the data present in the notepad. And this is the data calling from the another notepad, another text file. But I'm saying that I need only this data to be presented in my notepad. I don't want this data. So how can I do it? Whenever you want to remove the existing data from this particular notepad, what you do is, see, in this function you write text box, right? Text box dot delete. Text box dot delete. From the starting point till the ending point. Means if any existing data is there, delete it. And then if you're calling the data from the existing file, open it here. Okay, first delete the existing data and open the new data. That's the meaning of it. Now, for example, again I write hello world. Again I write hello world. And I'll open the file from the desktop. I'll go to the desktop, I'll select bootstrap lines, I'll click on open. So if you observe there, you cannot find hello world anywhere now. You cannot find hello world even in the last line. Because hello world is being deleted. The previous data is being deleted. And then the new data is being added. The new data is being added. Okay, so that is coming because of what? Because of this method. Text box dot delete from the starting point and ending point. Okay, now the next step is, for example, I select here Calibri or Arial or Calibri. So depending on that, it is changing the sizes, it is changing the bold amount. So automatically it is also working. Automatically the drop-down boxes are working. The drop-down boxes are working perfectly fine, automatically. But for example, in some of your system it will not work. In some of your system this will not support. So how can you do it, sir? How can you change the font of that particular data? What I'll do is, I'll call the function. What is the function name? Change font. What is the function name, sir? Change font. Okay, what is change font? Already in the top we have taken a function, right? With the name change font, where we are able to write all the configuration, how to change the font and all. So I'll be calling that function into my new function, that is open underscore file. I'll be calling that function into this function open underscore file. And if you observe there, into the change font function, we have a parameter. We have a parameter with the name event. So if I'm calling that function into another function, even the parameter will come down, right? So now what should I pass here? I pass the value 1. So what is the value for that parameter? It is 1. So by this, your Notepad program is ready by all the connectivity pattern. Okay, so for some of you, if still it is not opening in a proper way, if it is not changing the font style according to your requirement, by this method, change font method, it will change that font requirement also. Okay, so by this, your Notepad project is done. The Notepad project is done. Okay, so you can watch the recording, you can practice it, and if you're having any doubts, you can message me, like you can text in the group. We will revert you back with your doubt. Okay, you can clear all your doubts after practicing. And I guess in like there is no doubt because already you have seen the files concept, already you are aware of T-inter concept. I've only done the thing is I've only used the predefined parts. The file already is the predefined part, end is the predefined part. I've just used it into my program to make it more look and feel, to make it more attractive. Okay, so by this we have seen how can we add the functionality to all these buttons and how can we change the data. How can we change the font depending on our requirement. Okay, so by this your Notepad project is ready, you all can practice. Any doubts you can revert us back in the group. Okay, so thank you everybody, meet in the next class.